Joining me is Mr. Rajesh Magow, who is the group CEO and co-founder of MakeMyTrip. Another milestone that's added to your bucket list now that you've collaborating with AI in specific, which has been the need of the hour. Is this the next phase of development for MakeMyTrip?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and very interesting milestone as well, right? So, and it's milestone, but it is going to be journey. It's definitely not the end point, because we've been just working on it for last couple of years. We've actually had our sort of variants of soft launches in the past, but this one is special because this is trying to solve for a complex problem of trip planning right down to the booking, and also making it multilingual. We are starting with Hindi and English first. We'll bring in more languages, so it's more powerful. I think it's going to add more sort of options and power in consumers' hand, especially new users, right? So I think it's going to. I definitely see potential of this penetrating the real Bharat as well.
Okay, great. Is this something that you have also estimated will help you to up your revenue or on the financial side, or is it just to be a part of the new normal?
No, no, not necessarily. It's definitely not part of just new normal, or just fashionable thing to do, if you will, for a lack of a better word. Not at all. We actually definitely see this impacting potentially business at some point in time, right? Now the question will be when. Because it's going to be a journey. It's a new feature. It's a new interface. Development is one part of it. Solving the complex problem is one part of it. Making it more intelligent and intuitive for consumer is the other part of it. Then the third most important part is the consumer adoption, right? And that always is a journey. How a consumer habit doesn't change overnight, right? So they're also used to, the new generation or the younger generation is picking up really fast. They're using voice, as the form of sort of giving input to the apps, right? So, and more consumers use it. Better and better we make this product more intelligent to give more personalized, relevant, intuitive responses, the adoption will grow. And that is the time then the business impact will flow in as well.
Okay, great. On the development side, because this is another milestone you said you've just added, you house major three brands under your umbrella. Mm, Internally, on the domestic front, do you see a major competition? And also internationally, do you see, since a lot has been changing now, it's time for you to also up your game with plans when it comes to on a global platform?
Uh, from a competition perspective, the way I would see, and that's how we see it at Make My Trip as well. Make My Trip has been the market leader for a while, and we draw strength from the fact that we will continue to keep improving and solving consumer problems, right? That is actually absolutely at the core of our focus. You keep watching whatever is happening around you from a competition perspective, but sort of follow your strategies, focusing more on consumers and solving the problems, right? So far it has played out really nice. And healthy competition in the market is always welcome, and we've always had. The good news is the size of the market and the opportunity is huge. The travel and tourism market in India is really huge, and it is growing at about 10% year on year, right? So, and the future outlook also remains very positive. And on the other side, the consumers are spending more. Now the habit is changing to spending more on travel, out of their discretionary income that they have. And that discretionary income itself is also growing. So, the macro factors are playing out nicely, right? So there are bound to be more interest. There will be some competition here and there, and that's okay. And we are very happy to sort of compete. We've been around now for 25 years competing. We'll be competing not only with the Indian players, but also the global players.
Okay. I know that last quarter wasn't great also because of the turbulences we have had in the aviation, especially with the airspace issues. And it's very timely that just the upcoming weekend is the long weekend. I'd love to know a few insights of what kind of trends do you think have been doing well, at least for Indian consumers, and if any routes you'd like to list.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. The quarter was tough. The last quarter was tough. Unfortunate incidents happened. July, we saw some green shoots of demand recovery. And August so far has started quite well actually. And talking about the weekend that is coming up, it's building up very nicely. I mean, so almost at the same level of traction that we used to see, for any long weekend, let's say before, the last quarter. So my hope is that this trend will continue because going forward there are more festivals coming, and then there will be a winter travel season, which is always high season travel. So in terms of just the destination, both for domestic and international, and the consumer trends are also post-COVID, especially fundamentally are changing. They're taking more holidays. They're ready to explore more destinations. They're ready to go remote destinations, stay at a homestay, if you will, and also travel international, also exploring new countries and stuff like that. So we have seen many destinations picking up. So Southeast Asia has always been and then there's Middle East, which is, largely Dubai and Abu Dhabi. But Vietnam is a new destination that has picked up quite nicely, actually, and a lot of people are going. It's also a function of direct connectivity. The more direct connectivity that you have, on the air side, the better that destination would always do. We have Japan picking up from an international destination, and in domestic. Unfortunately, the J&K hills were down because of the incident, and then we've started seeing some recovery happening. And then there's of course Goa, which is always a favorite destination for Indians. And then there is Rajasthan and the other parts of there's the south and the west. Yeah, usual. But also nearby destinations, because a lot of weekend getaways trend has also picked up. So just 150, 200 kilometer distance, and you will travel by your own car or you'll hire a cab, and you will have 2-3 days sort of short holiday, if you will.
A bit on the financial side of it, on your most recent buyback, what was the objective behind this? And with this money being raised, how do you kind of balance the investor expectations in terms of long-term growth?
Yeah, no, of course. And the transaction was, to be honest, financial restructuring for us on our cap table. We had our performance track record now consistently in our favor, for the several quarters, especially post-COVID. And the market opportunity was good. There was liquidity in the market, and we ended up sort of doing this capital transaction. And our sort of in terms of potential investors, expectation setting, and the long-term sort of, goals and strategies for MakeMyTrip doesn't really change, to be honest. It continues the same because we still believe the best is yet to come, because India has a lot to offer. There's tremendous amount of headroom, like I was talking about earlier. The overall market is growing, online market is growing, the penetration is increasing, the macros are in favor, the consumer habits have changed. All in all, I think it's a good story. We will see short-term headwinds. We saw in the last quarter, and there will be cycles. That's okay. I mean, I think industry has shown the resilience in the past during COVID, and sort of emerged even more stronger. And we'll continue to navigate those cycles. But from a long-term outlook standpoint, it looks quite positive.
Thank you very much for speaking.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe. If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.